Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Maureen, and today I'm going to be sharing a vlog with you that I did while I sewed up my quilted jacket. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. I'll see you guys on the other side. And I'm sorry that I may be whispering, but it is quite late in my household and I am trying to work on McCall's 8438. And if you watched my batch cutting video, I've already cut this out and I'm going to try and see what I can get done in the next 2 hours before I go to sleep. So let's go ahead and get into it. The very first steps of this pattern is a lot of stay stitching or reinforcement stitching, and I'm gonna put an insert of the instructions from the sewing pattern in this vlog just so that you guys can see, because I know it's hard to tell what I'm doing right now, but there were a lot of places that I had to reinforce, and it made a lot of sense once I started constructing the coat why all of this had to happen. A few things to note about the pattern and the fabric. I cut a size 16, which gave me significant amount of ease. Normally I range between like a size 20 and 22, but this time I scaled down to a size 16. My fabric is from Hobby Lobby. I did do an entire video about batch cutting this fabric, and I also did a fabric haul about this specific fabric as well. And then you'll see my lining fabric here in the video, and that is from Telio. A couple of other things to note: I did widen my stitch length on this pattern a lot because the fabric is thicker, and I was really grateful that everything included lining, so I didn't have to serge any sort of pieces. And I did use a thicker needle. I think I used like a top stitch needle for this. And with the exception of the pockets, I used my Wonder Clips a lot with this project, which actually made it help go by a little bit quicker. So with making this coat in this pre-quilted fabric, there were a couple of things that I didn't have to do, and one of them was that I did not use interfacing on parts of the coat that require it in the instructions, and it was because my fabric was really stiff, and I took a gamble on that, and the gamble paid off because I didn't sacrifice any sort of construction with it, but the whole time I was really nervous, but I think I made the right choice. I think one of the things that surprised me about this pattern is all of the straight lines that I had to stitch down. There weren't that many curves that I had to do. And this is really like a very like simplistic, minimalistic type silhouette. So the lapels weren't very complicated, and the sleeves were kind of like not a dolman sleeve, but it's a drop shoulder. So there wasn't a lot of structure with that as well. And so for that, I feel like because it's not as much of a tailored coat, it's actually a much easier pattern than it appears. There was some manipulation that I had to do with the fabric. There was a little bit of pushing and pulling I had to do, especially with the smaller pieces, so that way they stay lined up with the notches and the edges. And this was a little bit of a challenge because my fabric was thicker, but I did get through it. Okay, so this is my first fit check. And I am really doubting myself with the sleeve, and so I just put some wonder clips in just to make sure I did this right, and I think I did, so we're moving forward. Yeah, so if you caught that, you're like, where's the rest of the coat? Well, the sleeve is like attached to like the side panel. I'm gonna pop a picture of the instructions in here so that you guys can get a visual, because I don't think I'm describing it the right way. So this is where all the reinforcement stitches make sense, because I had to add the front to the back through the side panel, and yeah, you'll see it in my next fit check, I promise. Okay, so this is what one finished half looks like. Basically, I've attached the front to the side panel and the back to the side panel, and then closed it up through the shoulder and the armhole there, and I have to do the same thing to the other side. Okay, so both sides are done and now I have a full outer coat, and now I just have to work on my lining pieces and I'm gonna call it a night. Hey y'all, happy Thursday, I think. Um, so I am gonna try and finish my jacket today. I have to do the carriers. I did the carriers in the puffer fabric. So I don't know how this is gonna go. I might have to like switch out the fabric with like something plain because it's such a narrow piece of fabric. And do the lining, and then attach those pieces, and I should be finished. So hopefully I can get this done today, preferably in the next 2 hours. That'll be cool. And possibly take some pictures, but it's like good weather, like temperature wise, but it's a little wet outside. So let me see the weather, like if it's supposed to rain later today. Okay, so it's like just supposed to be windy later, so maybe I can take these pictures and have like the wind be okay after. We'll see, but let's go ahead and do this. Okay, I'm back. By the way, this is like one of the loudest jackets ever. It's like wearing like a 1990s tracksuit, but it's so cute. Okay, anyway, so I did the carriers. I had to use the black twill from my boiler suit to do them. I don't know if y'all can see, it's right there. So I had to use that because the puffer fabric was just too thick. And I actually have a puffer jacket by French Connection that has a belt loop like this, and I actually went and looked at it, and it's not the same puffer fabric that they would have used, so I kind of felt better about adding the twill. Plus, if y'all are really gonna come for me for using twill for the carriers, you're standing too close. You're just standing too close. But the tie waist is gonna be puffer material, or I should stop saying puffer material, quilted material. So yeah, I put this right above the pocket here, and I think this is a good place. So I'm gonna keep going. Stay tuned. With the exception of the facing pieces, attaching the lining and sewing up the lining is relatively the same as doing the outer pieces. So I felt like it would be a little redundant to share that again here. But if you look on the left side of the screen, I did want to share this footage of me actually pinning the side panel sleeve part to the front and the back. This is very similar to how I did it with the outer piece as well. This is definitely one of those projects where you have to mark every dot, know every notch, and reinforce all of those seams like how they say in the instructions, because it can get a little confusing. Thankfully, I was able to complete this without very little mistakes, but yeah, so now I have a really beautiful coat. I'm obsessed with this lining, by the way, and I cannot wait to wear this out. Now, if you like this video, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and share with a friend. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see y'all next time. Bye.